What's looking for you at the top of her lungs?
Yes, apparently the cheerleaders need to get there early in the morning so they can vote on whose life to make miserable.
Special delivery. My first rent check.
Oh, Mom, let's not call it rent. You're just helping out.
No, Amy. You bought the house, you're the landlord, I'm the tenant, here's my check, and I'm completely okay with this new arrangement. I am. I'm grateful the house is staying in the family and won't go to people who will paint it pink or put yard gnomes on my lawn. What in God's name is that?
Don't you think it's warm and homey?
I think it will attract middle-aged men who need haircuts.
I've been looking all over for you. We're gonna be late again.
No. We have lots of time. Look at the new sign.
Why does it have a candy cane on it?
It's a lighthouse.
Why?
Why not?
We don't live at the beach or anywhere near water.
Well, we live in New England. New England is near the water.
The writing won't show up from the street, and the rope's goofy looking.
Get in the car. We're gonna be late.
Honey, I understand. You bought the house, you want to put your own stamp on it, and I am going to be supportive. I don't disagree with the concept of being supportive.
Then we're keeping the sign.
Let's lose the sign, and I will start to be supportive right after that.
Mr. Van Exel, good morning.
Yes, it was.
Can we find a place to talk?
This is a place.
I'm holding a press conference next week with a couple of my clients. I wondered if you consider being there.
I thought we established that I'm not one of your clients.
I noticed you didn't mind using my clients to get your job back.
So what now? I'm Pinocchio, you pull strings, I dance?
Yeah, that would be the cynical and myopic way to look at it.
Last I heard, you couldn't stand the sound of my voice. Why would you want me yammering at your press conference?
Because, frankly, as convicted felons go, you're not a bad spokesperson.
That's what I want. My picture in the paper with a caption. Bruce Van Exel, spokesperson for class action lawsuit felons.
You're right. It would be a real shame to tarnish your sterling reputation. If you ever decide to grow a spine, I'm in the book.
Under P for pain in my hands.
Opportunity knocking again? What's she want now? What? I am not being catty. I just don't like her. Why can't a woman dislike another woman and not be accused of being catty? Men dislike other men all the time, and they call it discretion, which is the better part of valor, whatever that means.
Here.
What's this?
Petitioner's brief on the case that was just transferred to your docket. Judge Neville has his usual Monday morning flu.
This is the brief? What does the long version look like?
I haven't read it yet either, but I'm pretty sure we can get the gist of it as soon as all the parties start screaming at each other.
I hate Mondays. Okay, next up we have an abuse and neglect case. Danny Zamero, age 8. Petitioner is his grandmother, Carolyn O'Brien, who alleges emotional neglect on the part of Danny's father, Sam Zamero. Danny's grandmother is seeking custody, and all parties seem to be present. Well, Mr. Chandler, apparently no one has explained to you why they call it a brief.
I felt a certain tone was indicated, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, I see. Maybe the judge will fall asleep, I can slip one by her kind of tone. That was rhetorical. First things first, where's Danny's mother?
Recently deceased, Your Honor. That's why we're all here.
How recently?
A little over a year.
Your Honor, Christine Zamero, Danny's mother, was a loan officer with Third Liberty Bank in Manhattan at the World Trade Center. South Tower, 81st floor.
You telling me that Danny's mother died on September 11th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Zamero and Mrs. O'Brien, I'm very sorry for your loss. I truly can't imagine what your family has gone through. Well, Mr. Chandler, please give me the broad strokes with a minimum of theatrics.
Danny's mother, Christine, is my client's daughter. She and Danny's father, the respondent, lived in Battery Park, a few blocks from the World Trade Center. Danny's school was 2 blocks north, PS2.
I know Battery Park. I lived in Tribeca. What I don't know is why you think Danny needs to be removed from the custody of his remaining parent.
Danny and his father have been living in a rented house in Farmington ever since last September. Mr. Zamaro's been commuting, but now he's ready to move back to the Battery Park apartment. Danny is being treated for post-traumatic stress syndrome, and we think it ill-advised for him to live in a place that will be a constant reminder of what he's been through.
Your Honor, this isn't just about the psychological aspects of this. Mr. Chandler's brief is long because it's full of reports on the air quality. The asbestos, the pulverized concrete, the polyvinyl chloride.
We have our own air quality reports, Your Honor, and you will see that my client has taken every precaution above and beyond the EPA recommendation.
I've had the place cleaned top to bottom 4 separate times. Asbestos removers, disaster cleanup specialist. I have HEPA filters in every room.
All right, let's pretend it's clean. He wants Danny to look out the window every day at a construction site over his mother's grave.
Okay, obviously there are numerous issues here, and nothing is going to happen until I read the materials. So Mr. Van Exel will tell us what time we are reconvening here tomorrow.
11:15.
11:15. I'll see everyone back here, and I'll be up to speed.
This needs explosion. Do you even care? Give me something I can work with. I'm begging you.
What is going on?
Maxine, this is between a foster father and his foster son.
Well, you may be the foster father, but I am the caseworker.
You may be the caseworker, but I'm the caseworker's boss.
He thinks I'm a stoner.
Eric and a bunch of his friends.
They're not my friends.
Were caught toking up in the boys' restaurant.
Poking up. Hello, 1980.
Were you smoking marijuana?
No, I was having a bowel movement.
As far as I know, that's legal.
No, I was in a stall. I flushed, so I must be guilty.
Go home. We're going to talk about this later. Straight home, mister.
I don't think he's lying.
And this is based on?
Maternal instinct and many years of raising children who have been known to lie on occasion.
Well, I don't have any maternal instinct, and I'm new to raising kids.
I know.
You saying I'm doing a bad job?
I'm saying I don't think he's lying.
Well, I have to figure out a way to know that for myself, Maxine.
Yes, you do, Sean. Good luck.
This smells great. What is it?
Coco Van. I made it in the crock pot.
What's coco van?
It's chicken with a lot of stuff you like.
It looks yucky.
And yet your mother made it for you with a lot of love, so you're going to lap it up and be grateful.
When did you learn to cook?
In the apartment. There's nothing else to do.
Hello?
No cell phones at the table.
Hi, my old friend Roger. It's my old friend Roger.
I don't care if it's Babe the talking pig. There's no cell phones at the table.
I can't talk now, apparently. Okay, where? What time? 7 p.m.? I'm there. Goodbye. Fascist.
Hey, Mike, just in time.
Amy, what are you doing to the front of the house?
The dirt, you mean? I hired a landscaper, and we're going to plant some new stuff. I know it's a mess, but they're going to be done in a couple days.
Where's my rose bush?
Well, I got rid of all the old bushes to make room for the new ones.
You got rid of the rose bush?
Not the rose bush.
You got rid of Ethel?
No, I know the Ethel bush. It has pink blooms.
Not in October.
But it's up at the mailbox.
Mom moved it while you were gone.
You did?
The dog walkers were letting the dogs tinkle on it.
I thought it would be safer by the door. Obviously, I was wrong.
Oh, God, I can't believe I did that.
Neither can I.
Neither can Ethel.
She'll get over it.
Grandma was really upset.
I know, but she'll get over it, sweetie. It's just a rose bush.
It was Ethel.
Okay, it was a rose bush with a name, but it's not like I tried to kill somebody's pet. It was green with leaves and thorns. No, it wasn't stolen. I threw it away.
Well, I was hoping you could tell me where rose bushes go when people throw them away. I called Waste Management, and they pretended not to speak English. Okay, tell me this. Who would know where a rose bush goes when you throw it away? He said God and hung up.
Who did?
Officer somebody.
You called the cops about a missing rose bush?
Yeah, well, it's a long story.
Oh, Judge Gray!
Hey, Donna.
You got a call from Lizzie Poteet at the Heritage Rose Society. She wants to know if it's true if you threw away an Ethel Brownlow tea rose. She left 3 numbers.
Thank you.
I looked those up on the internet. No one breeds those anymore. Apparently, the only ones left are the ones that are passed down to families from generations.
Thank you, Donna.
You threw away an antique rose bush?
Yes, it was my mother's. Her great-grandmother brought it over from Ireland in 1889. It's been passed down through every generation since then.
It's such a nice story. And to the part where you threw it away.
Why'd you do that?
It was an accident.
You accidentally threw away an antique rose bush.
Oh, okay, it wasn't an accident. I'm a psychopath. I prey on shrubbery. Can we please go to work now?
It was a rose bush. A family heirloom rose bush. No, I did not call earlier. I mean, I did, but you put me on hold. By the way, do not do that again. Hello? Hello?
Maxine, have you heard anything from Eric?
Is he missing?
No. I just thought he might have called to vent about having the world's worst foster father. He's not talking to me.
Welcome to the world of parenting.
I guess he's waiting for me to apologize for not trusting him. Fact is, I don't trust him. Who in their right minds would trust a teenager?
Sean, I thought you were going to figure this out for yourself.
I am. I just might need you to help me figure it out for myself. Just let me know if he calls you, okay?
And Danny's daily routine is what?
His father drops him off at my house at 6:30 in the morning. That's when he leaves for work. He takes the train into Midtown. I get Danny ready for school. All of his school clothes are at my house, and he catches the bus right down the street. I help him with his homework. I feed him dinner. And his father picks him up at 8 p.m., sometimes later if he has to work late.
Your Honor, I hate spending that much time away from Danny. That's exactly why I want us to move back to the apartment.
Your Honor, may I finish questioning my witness?
Yes, Mr. Zamero, I promise you will have a chance to say whatever you need to say, but by law, they do need to go first.
Mrs. O'Brien, how would you describe Danny's psychological state over the last year?
Well, at first he was a wreck, understandably. He slept with the light on for months. He had nightmares. He didn't want to go to school. But with the therapy, he got better. And overall, he did great. Until his father started talking about moving him back to Manhattan.
Objection, Your Honor. Narration.
Sustained. Mrs. O'Brien, you have to wait until your lawyer asks you that question.
Which would be now. Tell me how your grandson's behavior has changed since talk of moving back to Manhattan.
The nightmares are back. The teacher sent a note saying that he's having trouble concentrating in class, and he doesn't want to play with his friends.
Your Honor, I know Danny's worried about moving back to Manhattan. I'm not contesting that.
Mr. Zamero.
By the time it's my turn, she will have you turned against me just like she's done with Danny. I'm not saying it's gonna be fine. It's not. It's gonna be hard as hell. I'm saying I have a right to raise my own child and make my own decisions.
And I'm saying I don't trust your judgment, and with good reason.
You see, that's what she does. I know Carolyn is afraid for Danny to live in Manhattan. And I know she lost her daughter, but I lost my wife.
This isn't about us.
Okay, settle down. Miss Gavney, have you entered Danny's psychiatric report into evidence?
No, but we have it, Your Honor.
Okay, I'd like to read that tonight, and tomorrow I would like to see Danny. At what time, Mr. Van Exel?
Danny is just 8 years old.
And in my court, that's old enough to have a valid opinion. Mr. Van Exel?
4:30.
I'll see everyone tomorrow at 4:30.
Ever this night be at my side to love and guard and rule and guide. Daddy, I'm tired of this prayer. Why can't I make up my own prayer?
Okay, go ahead.
Lord Jesus, we just want to thank you for leading us to the cooling water. We just want to lift up our voices to praise you.
Wait. Hold on. Where'd you learn this prayer?
At Aunt Winnie's church.
Aunt Winnie goes to our church.
No, she got a new church. She took me there Wednesday night. And it's really cool. You can dance and clap your hands, and they don't care if you make noise, and you can yell, "Amen," anytime you feel like it.
Yeah, I've seen it on television. Finish up. It's getting late.
Lord, we just want to lift up.
Enough of the lifting up. Say your own damn prayer. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to snap. Just say your prayer, okay?
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women.
Right after the second bell, there was this loud noise. We all looked out the window, and there was this big hole in one of the buildings where my mommy works. Somebody said it was a bomb, but Mrs. McGrath said no, a plane flew into it. Brandon Kendall was crying because his dad works in that building, but I wasn't crying because I knew where my mommy's office was. It was in the other building, and that building was okay. Mrs. McGrath said we all had to get back in our seats, and everybody started pointing and yelling, and nobody would listen to her. And then another airplane hit my mommy's building. Miss McGrath started saying, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God."
And that's when your daddy came and got you?
He said we were going to go wait for the helicopters to go get Mommy because he talked to her on the phone and she was okay. I asked him if the building was going to fall down, and he said no.
Danny, have you been back to Manhattan since all this horrible stuff happened?
No, we've been living in Connecticut. Are you going to put my daddy in jail?
No. Why would I do that?
Maybe he did something bad.
Do you think he did something bad? If you think that, I need to know.
He told Mommy to go on the roof.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Why did you tell him that?
Because it's the truth.
It's not the truth.
Okay. Everybody, I think we'll take a short break, and I'd like to see all the adults in my chambers.
Okay, it's clearly not about asbestos dust. Can somebody tell me what's going on?
I think that's pretty obvious, Your Honor. Carolyn has never been thrilled with me as a son-in-law. Now she blames me for Christine's death, and she's turned my son against me.
All I did was tell him the truth.
How do you know the truth? You weren't there.
I heard the tape.
What tape?
I have a tape recording of my last phone call with my wife. My cell phone has a memo function, and I taped the call.
My daughter had the sense not to run up the stairs in a burning building.
I played the tape for Carolyn because I wanted her to hear what I actually said.
And I did. You told Christine to go up.
Okay, this is the point at which somebody tells me what's going on.
Your Honor, as events have been reconstructed from last-minute phone calls, it seems that the only stairway that remained open was in the southwest corner of Tower 2, where Mrs. Zamero's office was located. The people who were trapped there had a choice of exit routes. The ones who went down lived. The ones who went up didn't.
Sam told Christine to go up.
That's not what happened.
Does Danny know this tape exists?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, the next thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to listen to the tape.
Here you are. Thank you. You're a detail man? You drive around with a trunk full of drug samples and annoy doctors into prescribing them?
No. I charm doctors into prescribing them.
In college, you were going to join the Peace Corps. You've completely gone over to the dark side.
Oh, don't be such a self-righteous schmuck. What's the difference between prescribing pills and selling them? Besides, drug companies do great things for humanity. Haven't you seen the commercials?
Yeah, and cigarettes don't cause cancer.
That particular glib remark only works when it's made by non-smokers.
Which I am. Twice a day.
So how about coming to work for me?
What? This is a job offer? You're not just gloating?
I'm the new regional manager. I can hire 2 new reps, and I want one of them to be you.
What? The image of telling my sponsor that I'm going to be driving all over New England with suitcases full of drugs.
Hey, if you start using it again, it won't be because you happen to have Lipitor in your trunk. You know that. Kyle, I saw the dump where you work. I can only imagine what the rest of your life looks like.
Yeah, well,
I go to meetings, too. In air-conditioned buildings, people bathe and use deodorant.
Are you saying that I'm less recovered than you because my life is in hell?
My opinion? Trying to punish yourself. And that's some perverse kind of pride. Hasn't your sponsor told you that? Kyle, civilization misses you.
Eric, why are you here?
Waiting for you.
In the cold?
It's different in there. Amy's moved stuff around.
Well, it's her house now.
She had this stupid decorator lady here. They were looking at pictures of furniture, ugly furniture.
Things change. That's life. I live in Amy's house now, and you live in Sean's house.
He has ugly furniture, too.
Eric, are you here for a reason?
I did not smoke dope in the restroom.
Sean is worried about you. Which, in case you don't know, is a good thing. You're not pure as the driven snow. He knows your history, Eric.
Which is exactly why I would never do anything that could get me in trouble. Look, I'm getting good grades. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't even sneak into R-rated movies. If I get any better, my BO will stop stinking. I'll sprout wings in a halo. I'm a freakish saint. And back when I said my BO doesn't stink, I wanted to say something else, but I couldn't. Do you know why?
Because you're so good.
I'm so good. It's killing me.
Go inside, call Sean, and let him know where you are.
Do I have to?
If you want to be a good boy.
I'm not canceling the mediation. I'm just postponing it for a couple days. Because I didn't sleep very well last night, and I can't deal with Michael's crap today. Hey, Lauren, you got 5 minutes. Helene, I'm gonna have to call you back. Talk later. All right. Mom, I'm really, really sorry about your rose bush.
Yes, you said that.
Are you gonna stay mad forever?
No, not forever.
Then what? A week? A month?
Amy, this is exactly the conversation I used to have with you when you were Lauren's age. What does that tell you?
Excuse me, I'm being childish? Mom, you don't know. I'm dealing with some huge stuff right now, and I realize that you are upset, but I really can't believe you're not speaking to me because I threw out a bush.
What you do not understand is that it wasn't just a bush.
I know. It was a prize-winning, historically correct, expensive family heirloom rose bush.
Your great-great-grandmother McGinn
Brought it over on the Mayflower, I know. I did a horrible thing. Death would be too great for me. I think we've established that. Mom, I will buy you another rose bush.
You can't, Amy. That's the point. When my brother Richard moved into our parents' house, he dug up that rose bush and brought it to me. It was one of the few loving gestures that he has made toward this family. So you can go to the supermart and buy new rose bushes all day long and half the night. But you cannot replace history.
I know that.
No, you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't suggest buying me another rose bush.
I don't care. You knew you were going and you deliberately kept it from me. Winnie, if you don't want to be a Catholic anymore, that's your business. But leave Rebecca out of it. We'll talk about this later. I have to get to work. Winnie, I'm hanging up now. I'm going for coffee. You want any?
I wasn't going to ask you about your phone call, so don't break your neck shifting into breakfast food repartee.
I was really going to get coffee.
Do you think we could have Donna do it? I was hoping you could listen to this 9/11 tape with me.
I prefer not to.
Because?
Because it's not my idea of a good time.
Is it your idea of a job?
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, nothing. I just thought.
Because I do my damn job. If there's one thing I can't be accused of, that's slacking off on my job.
No one's accusing you of anything.
It sounds that way to me.
What's with him lately?
It's that Zola woman. He's been weird ever since she started coming around trying to get him to be black. Blacker.
What does that mean?
She's pushing buttons. He's either gonna kill her or marry her. Which do you think we should hope for? Yeah, me too.
Why would he feel insecure? He knows I'm there for him. I listen. I'm home to cook dinner every night. And what else can I do?
Eric does not feel safe. Now, you go in there and make him feel that way.
Maxine says that you're only being good because you don't feel safe. Is she watching?
Yeah.
The nod. She also says that you think I'm your last chance because she's getting married, and if you blow it with me, then you're not going to have anywhere else to go.
She's crazy. I got plenty of other places to go. Tons of places.
I know you do. Of course, but still, I promised her I'd tell you that no matter what, I'm not going to kick you out, so you don't have to be a saint.
How bad can I be?
We'll work that out as we go on. Look, I'm a total rookie at this parenting thing, and I'm going to learn the way people always learn, which is by screwing up. So you're just going to have to give me a break here. Okay?
Okay. We got a hug or something?
No, not necessary. Wait, is she still watching?
Yeah.
Maybe we better.
I'm
sure we're all in agreement that no matter how I rule, Danny will continue to be under the care of a psychiatrist and be closely monitored, especially in the event of a transition back to Manhattan.
Absolutely.
Of course, Your Honor. Does that mean you've decided?
No, I haven't decided anything. I am, however, deeply concerned about the fact that Danny blames his father for his mother's death. His emotional recovery depends on how secure he feels, and if he doesn't think that his father did a good job of keeping his mother safe, why would he trust him with his own life?
That's exactly my point.
No, that's what you brainwashed Danny into believing.
I just want Danny to be safe. Why does that make me the bad guy?
It doesn't make you...
Mr. Zamero, have you discussed with Danny's psychiatrist the possibility of his hearing the tape?
I've talked to half a dozen therapists about it. It would either do him a world of good or cause him permanent harm, depending on which therapist you ask.
Your Honor, have you listened to the tape?
I'm working on it.
With all due respect, if it's hard for you, how do you think it's going to be for Danny?
Well, it might be excruciating, but it also might be necessary.
Please, tell me you have coffee and no one here is singing the Elmo song.
I do have coffee. If you don't mind drinking it out of a soup bowl. Amy's on some new homeowner rampage. I'm beginning to wish that I had sold the house to that woman with the stenciled eyebrows.
Okay, how about some good news?
Oh, I never turned that down. You found a hospital that will take you as a resident.
No, but I found a job. Or rather, a job found me. I got a really good offer selling drugs for a pharmaceutical company.
Oh.
Make about 60 grand a year with all sorts of perks. Expense account, health insurance, company car, chum, they call it.
The fish guts you throw to attract sharks.
Okay, not the best choice of metaphor.
Well, what about the job you have?
Well, as much as I will miss mopping up teenage vomit for minimum wage, sometimes change requires sacrifice.
Mac tells me that he's only planning to stay for another couple of months. We hired him so that he could get the place going, and then someone else would take over.
Someone else being me?
Who would be better? You fought for the funding. You understand Mac's system. You're invested in the children.
And yet I aspire to having credit cards. Is that a crime?
No, it's not. You know that this isn't just a choice between jobs. It's deciding what you want to do with your time on the planet. Well, are you going to be of service, or are you going to have credit cards? I'm sorry, I have to put this bowl of balls someplace where I don't have to look at it.
All I'm saying is I don't need any extra problems right
Your
now.
daughter wants to say, praise Jesus, instead of 3 Hail Marys before she goes to sleep. Explain to me why God cares.
Winnie, I have legal problems. If this case doesn't go my way, I'm going to be unemployed again. I'm trying to raise Rebecca around work, school, and community service hours.
I didn't cause your problems.
I didn't say you caused my problems.
I knew you, Bruce, when you wore dirty jeans and sneakers and hid cigarettes in your afro.
So?
I knew you before you put your feelings in cold storage. And I know why. You had just one too many white women pick up the pace because you happened to be walking behind them in a parking lot.
Winnie, please.
You stopped feeling so you wouldn't have to know what it feels like to be black. Because it doesn't always feel good.
Do you have a point?
You're not upset because I took Rebecca to a Protestant church. You're upset because I took her to a black church.
I have to go to work. We'll talk about this later.
Oh, why bother? It's not like you're gonna listen.
Danny, your father wasn't sure whether or not he wanted you to listen to this tape. I wasn't sure either, but it's my job to decide. And what I thought was this. You've heard your dad's version of the story, and you've heard your grandmother's version of the story, but the person you haven't heard from is your mom. And this tape is a way for you to hear your mom's version of the story. So we're gonna listen to it. Okay?
The stairway is open, but we don't know whether to go up or down.
Don't go up. Things burn up and smoke rises.
We heard that there was a lot of smoke and flame below.
Okay. If you have to go up, go fast. But get to the roof and wait for a helicopter.
Okay.
I'm on my way. I'll climb the stairs if I have to.
No, Sam, you have to go get Danny.
Danny's with his teachers. He's okay.
Sam, listen to me. We have a child. Now, one of us has to live through this. You're safe. You stay safe. I will get myself out of here. You go get Danny.
Christine,
I have to go. Sam, it's getting smoky. What? Okay, we're going up. They voted.
Christine.
I love you. Okay? Tell Danny I love him.
Christine. Christine.
Did you learn anything you didn't know?
She said they voted.
Yes, she did.
Daddy was gonna go get her. But she told him to go get me instead.
That's right.
You know, Mommy, you always have to do what she says.
Does that mean it's my fault?
No, Danny, no.
Sweetheart, no. Danny, look at me. Look at what I'm wearing. I'm a judge. That means that I sit here all day, every day, and I decide who's to blame when bad things happen. Your mom died because bad men stole airplanes and flew them into buildings. It's not your dad's fault. It's not your grandmother's fault. It's not your mom's fault. And it is certainly not your fault. And if we blame the wrong people, then we help the bad guys. And they've done enough damage already. I am officially declaring that no one in this room is to blame. And I am denying the motion and dismissing the petition of abuse and neglect.
What does that mean?
It means your daddy is a very good dad.
He didn't say who's there. Don't you know not to open the door to an angry black man in the middle of the night?
What are you doing here?
I'm here to enlist. Put me on the official angry black man list. Where do I sign?
Are you drunk?
I took a cab.
That wasn't the question.
Everybody wanted me to be in touch with my feelings, so I'm in touch, okay? I feel something. Everybody's happy now, right?
When you sober up, I will be happy to discuss your feelings with you.
Yamma, sister. I'll see you at the press conference.
What are you doing? Looking at pictures.
Why are you looking at those pictures?
I had a 9/11 custody case. It was horrible. But we got through it. Things got better.
That will happen. Amy, I may have overreacted about Ethel.
No, you didn't. I did a stupid thing, and you were right to be upset.
I was not right to be that upset. I think I was trying too hard to be okay about not owning the house anymore, and so I became disproportionately upset about the rose bush.
No, you didn't. You were right.
Damn it, Amy, I'm trying to apologize. Now, allow me to finish.
Are you guys fighting again?
No, we're just talking.
Did you give Grandma her present?
Not yet.
What present?
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, Amy tries to protect her family from her stalker. Judging Amy is next on TNT.
Did you get that hat from Captain Crunch, Uncle Peter?
Don't they teach history in school anymore? This is the distinctive tricorn hat of the Revolutionary Redcoat.
Those are the bad guys.
In 1781, 80 Americans were slaughtered by the British at Fort Greenwood.
Right, so that would make you the bad guy.
It's that damn Connecticut Business League nonsense. Your father wanted no part of it.
It's not nonsense. It's a reverence for history. We're going to reenact the massacre of Fort Greenwood.
All the newbies start as redcoats. Takes years to become a Minuteman.
So you work your way up, and your reward is getting massacred?
So, we about ready for that test run?
Why do we need a burglar alarm?
What makes you think it's a burglar alarm?
Perhaps the masked robber emblazoned across this gentleman's back?
It's not a burglar alarm.
Sure it is. One hell of a good one.
It was my understanding you have some kind of stalker problem.
We have a stalker?
No, we don't have a stalker, and this isn't a burglar alarm. It's a home security system.
What's the difference? If I am to toe the party line, I'd like to learn the party line.
Well, besides keeping out intruders, which we're not concerned about, could you please explain to my already anxious daughter what this home security system is going to do?
Right, yes, I get it. Okay. You see, Lauren, it'll give advance warning of fire, lightning, rats, radon gas, carbon monoxide poisoning, toxic mold.
They make poisonous mold?
The idea was to alleviate fears.
Also, flood, infestation, or anything that might, crawl up through the drains.
Something could crawl out of the drain?
There was a case in Florida recently where a boa constrictor came right up through the toilet.
Okay. We ready for that test?
If I could have the prime user here at the interface sector.
The homeowner?
You bought the house. I'm a tenant. You step up to the outer space vector.
Please enter an easily remembered but obscure alphanumeric code. Oh.
Okay.
Now, the system is armed. If there is a compromise to the integrity of the system...
Like a giant snake crawling up the toilet?
Grandma.
The alarm will be triggered. If the alarm's not canceled by using the code within 25 seconds, there will be an armed response mobilization.
Wonderful! Fabulous! Make it stop!
I can't do that.
What do you mean you can't?
He doesn't know the code.
Write that code down for me, won't you, Amy?
Mrs. Stimson, tell me in your own words what happened.
I didn't even want to go out that night, but Alan thought we needed to spend some quality time together without the baby, so we'd used her before, and there was never any problem.
By her, you're referring to the defendant, Lynette Landers?
Yes.
How old was Franny when she died?
Coming up on a year.
Objection, Your Honor.
Look, we were at the movies. We got a phone call from the police telling us to come home.
Your Honor.
When we got there, Franny was dead.
The police said she killed Franny. She shook her. They said, "You killed my child."
I did not. I tried to save her.
Your Honor.
Okay, we're gonna break for lunch.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if you'll be needing your chambers at lunch.
No, feel free. I want Ms. Knox to get your job back permanently.
Thank you.
And then go far, far away.
So, who's she, the cops?
No, Mr. Callahan, I'm a social worker.
Why is she here?
One of Tina's teachers has reported suspicious bruising.
On my arms, because that's from, because I play soccer.
The bruise that I'm referring to would be on your back. May I see your back, Tina?
Does she need a warrant or something?
She doesn't need a warrant, Grandpa. She's not from the police.
I'd like to see your back, please. Ouch. Thank you. It's just the two of you living here? Is that correct?
I took over raising her 8 years ago after her parents were killed.
Do you have a boyfriend, Tina?
No, he doesn't allow me.
I have to know the origin of the bruise on your back.
She told you soccer.
All right. Thank you for your cooperation.
Show her a little class. See her to the door.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Callahan. I need you to come and see me at this address.
Why?
I believe you know why.
I want to hit him hard right off the bat, knock him off balance. Walker v. Tate, pow, Bailey v. United States, TKO off Manager v. Rhode Island. They're bleeding on the floor, then I stomp on them with the SB 346, HB 102, and SB 481.
You're leading with precedent and policy?
It's the Connecticut Supreme Court. I'm going to jam both down their throats. What?
You're the big constitutional expert.
Don't forget that. Who got your job back for you? I did.
It's just that what you're arguing against here is systemic racism.
I'm aware. I came to you, as you may recall. You said it didn't exist.
Racism is an emotional topic.
Emotion is subjective. Legal precedent is abstract and objective. These guys want abstract. They live objective.
I spend 8 hours a day with a judge. I think I know what makes him tick.
You know what makes this one tick. Gives her office up to you. My guess is you know more than what makes her tick.
If you didn't come here to ask my opinion, why'd you come at all?
Be polite. Keep you in the loop. Don't make me regret it.
So you don't recommend the turkey sandwich? Hi.
Marshal Wilkins.
Oh, no. Amy, please. I'm here to apologize.
I asked you to stay away from me and my family.
There's been a misunderstanding. Is there a
problem, Judge Gray?
Yes, this gentleman has no business in the courthouse. He's harassing me.
No, sir. Amy, I just want... I'm so sorry. I just want to apologize. Please, I'm trying really hard. Don't be angry at me.
Traffic violation, Judge Gray. He has legit business in the courthouse.
Well, I have an ongoing problem with this individual.
It's a misunderstanding.
He has broken into my home. He has left me messages and suggestive notes.
Well, if you just let me apologize and explain...
I'll show you where you should be, sir.
I know where I should be. Just 5 minutes, please.
You stay away from me, Mr. Lupdell. And if you don't, I will obtain a restraining order and put you in jail.
I'm here to see Dr. Redeker.
Dr. Redeker doesn't see pharmaceutical reps.
No, I'm not a salesman. Well, I am, but I'm not here today to sell pharmaceuticals. Though, if you could provide me with a contact name, I'd appreciate it.
Why are you here?
I have an interview for a residence position I would like to cancel.
You're kind of long in the tooth to be a resident anyway.
Where's Dr. Redeker?
Busy and back. And why are you postponing?
I'm not postponing. I'm canceling.
You probably wouldn't have gotten the job anyway.
What is with the superior attitude? This is everybody's last stop before giving up medicine to go into chiropractic. It's the worst teaching hospital in Connecticut.
Is that why you're canceling?
Meet Dr. Redeker.
No, I'm canceling. As you know from my resume, I'm a recovering drug addict. I've already been through a ton of these interviews, so we both know that you're not going to risk giving me a position here. Plus, I already have a very good job now, so why waste your time?
Are you sober today?
Yeah?
Will you be sober tomorrow?
That's my intention.
Good, then I'll see you tomorrow.
Why?
Because I'll decide what's a waste of time.
The typical injuries in shaken baby syndrome include swelling of the brain, retinal bleeding, and bleeding in the area surrounding the brain.
And Dr. Norwood, did you find evidence of these injuries when you conducted the autopsy on Frances Stimson?
Yes, I did.
And it's your opinion that these injuries caused Frances Stimson's death?
Frances Stimson died of hypoxia caused by broken blood vessels in the brain. Shaken baby syndrome is my diagnosis.
Those are my questions, Your Honor.
Is it not true that hypoxia can be caused by an impact injury?
There were no contusions to suggest an impact injury.
How do you explain the fact that Frances Stimson bled from her brainstem?
Well, bleeding from the brainstem is unusual in shaken baby syndrome. It's true, but we...
Common in impact injuries, say from a fall.
More common, certainly.
Consistent with my client's contention that Franny fell from her crib onto a thick carpet.
Yes, but...
Now, Dr. Norwood, in shaken baby syndrome, there is retinal hemorrhaging, correct?
Yes.
And it has a distinctive flame shape.
Typically.
Can retinal hemorrhaging result from the application of CPR?
Well, CPR produces what we call pin dot retinal hemorrhages.
Did you find retinal hemorrhaging in Frances Stimson?
Yes.
How would you characterize the shape?
Irregular, splotchy.
In short, the kind of hemorrhage you might expect to find if a 15-year-old girl performed CPR on a baby who had suffered a head injury and stopped breathing.
Objection, Your Honor. Narrative.
Sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm done.
What does Kyle want?
He was a little mysterious about that.
Forgiveness. He wants forgiveness.
What did he do?
Grandma's angry at him for giving up his teen harbor job and taking a fat cat yuppie job.
Are you mad at him for that?
Of course not.
Grandma, you pinned my pants to my sock.
Syntec 3000? Isn't that a little bit of overkill?
Not in my opinion.
Does anyone else feel the urge to shout one if by land, two if by sea?
Peter was made a Minuteman.
I thought you were a newbie redcoat.
I know. It's kind of a miracle. No one has ever skipped Redcoat and gone straight to Minuteman before.
Jillian thinks it has something to do with the engagement announcement.
I wasn't going to say that.
What engagement announcement?
It doesn't have anything to do with the engagement announcement. Did you ever think people are just beginning to appreciate my quiet march of success?
Oh, no.
Cool.
How did this happen?
He asked you. You said yes.
You can't very well keep something like this quiet. It could be the biggest social event of the year.
After the massacre of Fort Greenwood.
And you think it's a coincidence that you are given this big honor on the very day this announcement appears in the paper?
It is a coincidence. Isn't it, Amy?
Yeah, well, I don't know, Peter. If it usually takes more than a minute to become a Minuteman.
Is it impossible to fathom that people might want to get to know me?
I can't tell you all how uncomfortable it makes me for you to capitalize on Jared's name.
I'm capitalizing on the name Peter Gray. I've been running Gray and Gray all by myself for years. I haven't needed the great Jared Duff yet. I come over here thinking you'll be happy for me, but instead you imply I'm some blood-sucking gold digger. I'm leaving now, Mother.
I'm sorry. Enter the kill code and then push disarm.
My timing good, Maxine?
As good as ever.
What do you think of this?
It's an overblown gas-guzzling status symbol designed for a weak personality with manhood issues, and I will not co-sign a loan for it if that's why you're here.
No. No, Aunt Max. That's my company car. I pick it up tomorrow.
It's ludicrous.
Yes. But since I am no longer paying for a car or gas,
4 checks for $500 each.
I got a little behind on the rent. I want to pay you back.
They're post-dated.
Well, give me a break. I've only been at it a couple of weeks, but symbolically, I wanted to give you the whole amount.
In a week or a month, when you walk out on this job, too, you're going to be obliged to stop payment on these.
What do you mean? I am great at sales.
You were great at Teen Harbor.
I left to move up, to do better. What is wrong with making a life? Do we all have to live in the muck just because you have for 30 years?
I love you, Kyle. But you're flighty. And when you come and ask me please not to cash these checks, I hope that you remember Teen Harbor, symbolically. Amy's heating up a pizza. Would you like some?
You sound just like my father.
No, that's just mean.
Why? You're exactly like him. You don't want anyone to grow or to do better because as long as they stay small, you get to be the matriarch.
So you don't want pizza?
What are you doing here?
Came to wish you luck.
I don't need luck. I've got God and history on my side. What do I need luck for?
You are a difficult person.
I'm in warrior mode. You might like me better if I weren't in warrior mode, but this is the way I have to be, here, today, doing what I do. I don't expect you to understand.
What do you mean? You don't know me. I'm just another number to you, a demographic.
Whose fault is that? I come to you, a black man looking for ammunition to fight a good fight, and you barely give me the time of day. You've buried yourself so far down, all you can think about are the roles you play. I'm a good father, I'm a good employee, I'm a good citizen.
There's worse things to be.
There's better things to be, too. What the hell made you like this? I apologize. I'm sorry. I guess I'm nervous.
That's hard to believe.
I've never done this before. Argued in front of the Supreme Court.
You certainly implied otherwise.
I apologized for being snappish. I confided in you, and now you want to argue about it?
Miss Knox, you're up next.
Yes, thank you.
Zola. I was in high school.
What? You're gonna confide in me now? Before I have to go in to address the state Supreme Court?
My uncle worked at a used car lot. He let me drive a Buick for a date. Now, this was a fine girl, somebody I had big feelings for. Naturally, I got pulled over. White cops. They ruined the car looking for drugs, made me take off my pants, humiliated me in front of my date. You need details?
I know the details.
I decided right then to carry myself in a manner which would not allow for humiliation.
You became invisible.
That's not how I see it.
Miss Knox, justices are ready for you.
Go be a part of history. You gotta know I mean it when I say good luck.
Thank you.
Your turn, Miss Callahan.
Okay, so I'm here.
Thank you for coming, Tina. Do you need something to drink?
No, is this gonna take long? Because my Gramps is waiting for me at home.
How's your back?
Fine. Doesn't hurt.
Well, I'm sure that's not true. Having a cane broken over your back must be quite painful.
He didn't break it over my back. I broke it. Later, I stuck it between the refrigerator and the wall, and I kicked it.
Why did he strike you? Your grandfather is a pretty tough old man.
Used to be a boxer in the Navy. There's no way I could hurt him. Not really.
Have you tried to hurt him?
There's yelling.
That's all. Yelling. Yelling is one thing. But if
We get
there's-
into it sometimes, I guess. Irish, you know?
I'll tell you what I think. I think that it's very hard work taking care of an old person, even for an adult. And it's not fair for a 15-year-old girl to have to do it.
I love him.
Of course you do.
Mostly we take care of each other. It's just that sometimes
Families can be complicated sometimes.
Don't look like a doctor.
You look like a salesman.
Has the interview started?
I'm interested to know why St. Michael's was your last choice.
Honestly, you're underfunded. No matter what my specialty, you'd have me doing everything all the time. You have a reputation for getting very low-level applicants. The hospital may not be in existence in another year, and most of your equipment wouldn't pass muster in downtown Russia.
What do you think is wrong with this?
Is that a trick question? Oh, I'd say frostbite, stasis ulcer, and some kind of secondary infection.
How would you treat it?
First, I'd wash it.
Not get a nurse to do it?
No, I'd wash it myself, get a good look, send out some labs. Looks like there's some dead tissue that needs debriding. Maybe an ultrasound to rule out a blood clot.
Sounds good to me.
Have you ever had your ass removed from a sling by a nurse?
My first year of residency, I had a nurse prevent me from sending a man into insulin shock, which counts, I suppose, as having my ass removed from a sling. Of course, she was sleeping with me at the time, so she owed me. That probably wouldn't be an issue with you, but who knows, right? Are you going to ask me any real questions?
How would you treat intestinal pinworm?
I believe it's treatable with pyrantyl pamoate. Are you going to ask me real questions that aren't nauseating? Because my specialty is neurosurgery.
Antibiotic ointment, light gauze, vancomycin, IV drip. Take him upstairs.
I like you. You're jaunty.
You be good, Gus.
Is this for real?
I have a few questions about trauma, if you don't mind.
So, how'd it go?
Hard to say. It's not like they applaud or anything. They ask questions, which could be taken as a good sign.
Were you persuasive?
I'm always persuasive. Whether they were persuaded is another matter. Oh, it's like talking to Mount Rushmore in there.
So how long before they rule?
It could take hours, days, weeks. Tell you what, I'll give you a call.
You'll call me?
Do you want me to call you?
If you want to call me, yeah. I like it if you call me.
I took your advice. I went with emotion, so if this all turns to crap, it'll be your fault.
I was on the phone talking to my friend Candace, and I heard a thump from upstairs, so I hung up. I went upstairs, and it was...
Take your time.
The baby was lying on the carpet next to the crib, and it wasn't breathing. But I know CPR, but it didn't work. So I called 911. Then I went back upstairs, and I did CPR until the ambulance came.
Miss Landers, did you ever shake Franny?
No, I never did that. Never.
Thank you. Your Honor?
Cross, Miss Patterson?
So how long were you on the phone with your friend Candace?
I don't know. Maybe 10 minutes.
What do you make of Candace Gallagher's contention that she heard Francis crying right before you hung up?
Objection, Your Honor. Candace Gallagher said she might have heard a baby crying.
I'll allow it.
No, there was no crying, just the thump.
Well, Candace said that she heard crying. And then you uttered a profanity. And then you said, and I quote, "There it goes again. I'm going crazy." Then you hung up.
But I didn't mean anything by that.
Let's talk about what really happened that night, Lynette. You were on the phone with your friend. Frances started crying.
No.
She wouldn't stop crying, so you interrupted your phone call and you went upstairs and you shook her to make her stop, didn't you?
Your Honor.
And then you realized that you'd gone too far, so you called 911 in a panic, but by then it was too late, wasn't it?
Your Honor.
Okay, Miss Patterson, that's enough.
Yes, Your Honor, no more questions.
Well, I have some. Did you like Franny Stimson?
What do you mean?
We babysat for her a few times. What was she like?
Like, nothing. A baby.
I'm interested because you keep referring to Franny as it, not by name or her.
I guess because after she was dead, it was like, it wasn't like a person.
How did it feel to see her lying on the ground, not breathing?
How do you think I felt? I was scared. I mean, here's this little baby not breathing. People are gonna think I did something to it. Her. Now, look what happened. Everybody thinks I did something bad. I didn't. I tried to save her. Why are you asking me all these questions? I tried to save her. Isn't that all that matters?
What matters is why Franny needed saving in the first place.
Lauren, you cannot stay up until 11 o'clock. Because it's a school night. I know, but... Hey, sweetheart, can we talk about it when I get home? Yeah, tell Grandma I'm coming home in about 20 minutes, okay? Okay, love you. Bye. Oh, my God!
Okay. Don't freak out.
Give me my keys or I'm gonna scream.
Please, tell me this. 1 minute. I'm picking up your files, okay? That's all. I'm trying to help you here. Look, if I scare you, just press your panic button. Someone will come. Here. Do you remember why you put me in jail? It was because I said fires. Remember? In court. I watched you. When they talked about the fires, I could see you were sad. Like I disappointed you. You looked into my eyes when you spoke to me. We had a connection. I could see that you really cared about what happened to me. I'm reluctant to give up on Jason Lobel. He's been abandoned by his parents, by the foster system, by everyone who's ever borne any responsibility to him. He's a victim, and he deserves our compassion.
You defiled every picture of me in that album.
I'm an idiot. I do stupid things. I scare people. I blamed you. I now know it was the system that kept us apart. I thought the words you said to me meant you cared for me. I now realize that I bent it all out of shame. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm sorry.
Judge Gray. I got here as quickly as I could.
This is the last you'll see of me. Goodbye.
Mr. Callahan, if you apply to the Department of Social Services, the state will make available to you several programs. Meals on Wheels, medical checkups, a weekly visit from a nurse, free transportation to a senior citizen center for recreation.
It's welfare. It's all welfare. Forget it. We don't need any help.
For example, I can't help but notice that your cane is broken. You could have that replaced.
Fixed it. It's fine.
A single grandparent on a veteran's pension raising a teenage child alone would certainly qualify for many benefits.
Are you deaf? We don't want any welfare.
You were in the service.
The Navy man for 25 years.
You're ashamed. I understand that.
We make ends meet. There's no shame in that.
No, sir. I'm referring to the feeling of helplessness you have when your granddaughter abuses you.
You get off my porch.
A Navy man, a Korean War veteran reduced to fighting a child. But I think the thing you're most ashamed of is hitting her back. You struck your grandchild with your cane, sir. For that alone, I am empowered by the state to remove her. But that would mean that she goes into the foster system. And I'm afraid that would break her heart and yours. Because I believe despite your problems, you love one another.
It'll never happen again. I give you my promise. She can beat me senseless. I will never lift a hand against her again.
Mr. Callahan, I don't know how it starts or who hits who first. I honestly can't tell. But I do know that you need to set aside your pride and allow us to help you and your granddaughter.
You want me to sign that paper?
Yes, sir.
Asking for charity galls me. Do you understand that? It galls me to the bitter end.
Mr. Callahan, you serve this country. There's no charity here. Whatever we can give back to you, you have more than earned.
You will. Thank you for that.
Dr. Redeker, good morning. I'm glad you decided to meet with me. I have some very exciting news about generic pharmaceuticals.
I don't talk to salesmen. I'm offering you a residency position. When can you start?
Wait. I've been to 8 of these and nobody... You're offering me a job?
You attended Harvard as an undergrad and you graduated 5th in your class from Johns Hopkins.
And then took drugs and nearly killed somebody.
You're not on drugs now. You're in the program.
But I have a job, a very high-paying job as a pharmaceutical rep.
Well, that's almost like being a doctor, I guess.
Did you call my references?
I don't care about your references. In fact, I don't care if I have to fire you in the first week. Because next year, when we start looking for our new batch of interns, I can put a little line in our brochure that says St. Mike's, the choice of Harvard and Johns Hopkins. I'm going to turn this heap into a respected medical center, and you're going to help me.
You mean my pedigree will help you?
You know something about the diseases of the homeless, and Horatio likes your attitude towards nurses. I did call some of the other medical centers that turned you down, and not one of them said they turned you down because you were a bad doctor.
I know why they turned me down.
I don't care about the drugs. I'm not going to give you a key to the medicine cabinet, and if I find you stoned, I won't merely fire you. I'll call the cops.
Well, obviously, you'll be the world's most understanding boss.
Dr. McCarty, I'm officially offering you the opportunity to be a physician here at St. Mike's. Give me your answer by tomorrow noon.
One day, that's fast.
Yeah, can't be good. Gotta be bad. My mistake was going with the visceral, emotional stuff instead of policy. What you are is a bad influence.
You're not a woman who needs a lot of oxygen, are you?
Miss Knox.
There's my guy. Wish me luck.
You don't need luck. You have history and God and whatever else.
You want the good news or the bad news?
Bad.
They found for us. Which gives me a precedent to argue to the federal Supreme Court, which will make my mama extremely happy and proud.
That's good news. I asked for the bad first.
Since you have such a brilliant attorney, you'll probably get your job back permanently.
Is there any bad news?
I don't think it's so great for you and your judge to be together, but that's just my personal opinion.
Stop worrying about my boss.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Prove it. I want a big, thick steak to celebrate, and you're buying.
You don't want to spend any more time with me than you have to.
Look, big man, it's a victory. Don't make me regret trying to include you in on it. You know what? Forget I asked. You just go home and shine your head.
Whoa! What, you gonna walk off? I'll take you for a damn steak. But I'll drive. Because you're the type who'll leave a man just standing at the side of the road.
Pick me up.
The prosecution says Lynette Landers shook Francis Stimson to death. Mr. Reimers said that Lynette found Francis Stimson injured on the floor and tried to save her life. Both could be true. Or maybe the truth lies somewhere in the middle, that Lynette did both. She shook Francis Stimson and then performed CPR. I don't know. Ms. Landers, only you know the truth of what really happened. And my concern for you is this. If you are responsible for Francis Stimson's death, it is a weight that you will carry your entire life. You'll break under the load.
Your Honor.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
Your Honor, you cannot ask my client to incriminate herself.
Mr. Reimers, you have conducted a brilliant defense. Now be so kind as to remain quiet.
I didn't do it.
Okay. Well, what I do know is this. Legally speaking, the prosecution has not met the burden of proof, so I have no choice but to find Lynette Landers not guilty of the crime of manslaughter against Francine Stimson.
Your Honor, I know she did it. I can't prove it, but I know this girl killed my daughter. I know it in my heart. Please, don't let her get away with it. I beg you.
Mrs. Stimson, I cannot use your instincts to make this decision. I don't have that luxury. I am sorry I cannot provide you and your husband the resolution you so desperately need to begin to mend your broken hearts.
My baby is dead. And she did it. And you're not going to do a damn thing about it.
I'm truly sorry for your loss. We're adjourned.
You're a redcoat again.
I thought about what you said, and I decided not to capitalize on Jared's name.
It's twisted.
Thanks.
I want to apologize.
No, Mom. You were right.
I would never want to hold my children back. You know that.
Of course. You know, I'd pull out of this altogether if it weren't for Dad.
Your dad didn't want anything to do with the Connecticut Business League.
No, Mom. They didn't want anything to do with him.
Really? I wasn't aware.
Why do you think I'm so keen? All these corporate mucky-mucks? Dad was a small independent insurance broker, and they shunned him. Well, this country was built on independence. So this one's for the old man. How do I look?
You look fantabulous.
Thank you, little missy. Mother?
very large. And blue. What do you want from me?
Nothing. All I have to do is get the keys and drive her off the lot.
Except?
There's no except. Except I got another job offer. As a resident. But it's the worst possible situation. It's a crappy facility in a medical backwater, and they only want me for my resume.
I know, it's not funny.
You think I should take the residency?
You don't need my permission.
What, you're telling me to blow off a second chance at a career I gave up hope for 2 years ago?
I didn't say anything like that. Why are you hollering at me?
Because I am this close to having a job where I make decent money. Where I can live alone in an apartment like an adult and not room with a Donna. I mean, do you know how much a resident makes?
Could I offer an observation?
You're going to tell me that no matter what I choose, it's going to be stressful, and then I'm going to be tempted back to the dark side, but if I work the program, the world is my oyster.
Wow, I'm good at this. Who said being your sponsor would be a thankless job?
My aunt told me that I would flake on this sales job. I'd really hate for her to be right.
First and foremost, you must be a good nephew. That's the most important thing.
Why can't I like sales. I'm good at it. I enjoyed making a living wage.
I'll give you two a moment alone.
We could have been great together.
Guess what?
What?
Your mother's here.
Mom!
What are you doing out here? We are enjoying the evening air.
We're afraid of the alarm.
Well, you gotta get used to it. How was your day, dear? Sometimes I think I'm the worst judge in Connecticut. Well, you have an excellent reputation. You never told me that. Yes, and I apologize. Apparently I hold my children back, and I'm going to try to do better.
I forgot the code.
It's 031093, sweetie. It's your birthday. Go, 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 go.
Okay, got it.
I hate that machine.
Well, I know it's a hassle, but at least once we're inside, we know we're safe.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, detectives suspect a more violent crime when an infant goes missing. Solve the case with Law and Order next on.
Sean, I will be there before you get to anything important. I already know how many paper clips we wasted last week.
I'm the only person in my class who hasn't been to a concert.
I find that hard to believe.
It's true. Taylor's parents took her to NSYNC. They had third-row seats.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Well, Taylor's parents are Muldoons.
What's a Muldoon?
It's something I don't have time to explain right now. Help me find the car keys.
It's my first day of residency, and Donna decides to outlaw coffee.
Oh, I still brew a pot every morning so that I can breathe the fumes.
I'm late. Do you have a travel mug?
Where did I put them?
Have you forgiven me for calling you an overbearing, control-obsessed matriarch?
Yes? Have you forgiven me for calling you flighty and casting aspersions on your manhood?
Yes.
Good, then. Here is your morning coffee.
Cousin Kyle, how old were you when you went to your first concert?
You are so out of this.
I'm out of this.
Why has Donna outlawed coffee?
Third world countries use illegal pesticides that eat your liver. And secondhand steam is going to stunt Ariadne's growth. Even though I explained to Donna that my liver is used to the abuse and that the stunted growth thing has no scientific basis, the next thing I know, she's given our coffee maker to the woman across the hall who apparently she's trying to kill. Or shrink.
Are we gonna be late again?
You know, you could help me find the car keys instead of whining about what I haven't done for you lately.
Where's the cream?
In the refrigerator.
Ah, yes, right next to the car keys.
We're out of here.
Amanda Buddha got a cell phone for her birthday.
Here, get in the car, now.
No!
Hi, Aunt Jillian.
Bye, Aunt Jillian.
Oh, Jillian, honey, would you or Kyle lock up and take us to DEFCON 3?
I was hoping to talk to Maxine, but maybe I could
I would
ask
love to talk to you about whatever it is, but I'm going to be late for my first day of residency. I can't be late. The alarm code's Lauren's birthday.
I just want to talk to someone.
Good morning.
Put that out, please.
I'm sorry, are you allergic?
I don't want you out here in your lab coat smoking.
Thank you for your concern for my health.
It looks bad for doctors to display their hypocrisy so prominently. Don't you agree? So if you must smoke, do it at home with the shades down.
Are you serious? Well, do you have any rules about coffee, red meats, hydrogenated fats, or sexual partners? Because I want to be the best gosh darn doctor I can be.
This whole I'm just so gosh darn charming thing might work other places, but it just irritates me.
Please.
For now and for future reference, whenever I tell you to do something, the answer to why will always be that I'm your attending physician and I told you to do it.
Works for me.
Those are insurance company files, pre-op clearance letters, so on and so forth. Pull the patient's charts, answer the questions. You can't find an answer, just make something up. Only make sure what you make up, they'll okay payment for. You need to be done by 10.
That's 45 minutes.
Good, you can tell time. That'll come in handy.
Don't you have secretaries to do stuff like this?
No, we have residents to do stuff like this.
State versus David Nelson. Mr. Nelson has been charged with sexual assault in the first degree and has been transferred back to juvenile. Mr. Friedman?
The state will prove that Mr. Nelson, a high school wrestler, violently assaulted Mrs. Levitt in the women's locker room at the high school gymnasium and raped her.
According to the file in front of me, this alleged rape occurred a year ago. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 months ago, Mrs. Levitt had a baby. The baby required a blood transfusion. When the baby's blood was typed, it was determined that Mrs. Levitt's husband couldn't possibly be the child's father. At that point, Mrs. Levitt belatedly and desperately claimed she was raped.
That is both offensive and unfair, Your Honor. The two events, Mrs. Levitt deciding to pursue rape charges and the paternity finding, have nothing to do with each other. As Your Honor is well aware, there is a 5-year statute of limitations on rape.
You're right, Mr. Friedman. I am well aware. Well, according to the file, subsequent DNA tests determined that Mr. Nelson is definitively the biological father. Does the defendant contest these facts?
No, he's mine. No, Your Honor, we don't contest any of the finding of fact.
You are the baby's father?
Yes.
Okay. And the defense contends?
The defense contends, Your Honor, that there is a sexual predator in this room, but she's sitting over there.
What did she say? That is a lie.
All right, okay. All right. Well, let's start first thing in the morning. I'll hear testimony
Tomorrow at 9.
tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Dr. Spencer, please dial the operator.
Kyle?
Please dial the operator.
Maxine, I heard rumors you were in the building.
What are you doing? Are you operating on that light fixture?
This is much more difficult than it looks. Some interns train for years before they get to do one of these.
Don't let me disturb you.
You didn't come all the way down here just to convince me to go back to my other job where I don't have to change light bulbs.
No such luck. I'm on an abandoned child call. Is pediatrics still this way?
Yeah, just follow the row of burned out light bulbs. Maxine, you're staring.
It's the scrubs. They suit you.
I used to swim after school. The day it happened, it was a Wednesday. There was no one else around. Well, not when I started. But when I got out of the pool, I saw David. He was standing next to the locker room doors. I don't know how long he'd been watching me, but it wasn't the first time I'd seen him there before.
And you knew David from your physics class?
That's right. He said that he was upset with his grade on the midterm. I told him this wasn't the time to talk about it. I told him that if he wanted to come see me in the morning before class, we could set up some tutoring sessions.
What was his response?
He called me a bitch. I turned around and I tried to get to the exit. That's when he grabbed me, threw me into the locker room, and pushed me down onto the floor. Everything just happened so fast.
Did you struggle? Try and fight back?
Yeah, I tried. But there was no way. I mean, he was on top of me, and he was very strong. I tried to hit him in the face, and I kicked him, but I don't even think he felt it.
And what happened next?
What happened next was he raped me.
Did you seduce David Nelson?
No.
Have you ever had a sexual relationship with a student?
No.
No more questions?
And her mother just handed her over and left?
No, apparently she stayed for a while. When the receptionist gave her the paperwork, the woman said that she left a purse in the car, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Where's your mama, young lady? How's she doing?
We're gonna release her in a couple of days. We caught it early.
What exactly did you catch?
It's the strangest thing. She was in the early stages of something called Chagas disease.
I've never heard of it.
To tell you the truth, I hadn't either until today. It's prevalent in Central America, sometimes the South, but never New England.
Is she going to be all right?
Yeah, we've got it under control. She's on some pretty heavy-duty antibiotics, but I think she's going to be just fine.
What about the mother? What do we know about her? Name and address?
No, but we have a description of her. The security camera out front got a pretty good shot of her.
I'll need a copy of that video, and I'd like to be paged if anybody calls about this little girl.
Anything else?
Yes, I have a camera in my car, and with your permission, I'd like to take her picture.
Of course.
Did anyone see you leave the swimming pool area on the day of this alleged rape?
The school clears out pretty quickly in the afternoon. There was no one else around.
Okay. This rape, which no one witnessed, happened a little more than a year ago, is that right?
Yes.
Why didn't you report it on the next day? Or the next month?
Your Honor, I'm sure you're aware that something like 75% of the rapes in this country go unreported.
That may well be, but I am not asking about any of those rapes. I'm asking about this one.
Why didn't you report it back then?
I guess I was in shock. And when I thought about reporting it, all I could imagine were these kids that I have to face every day. I mean, that's my job. I stand up in front of these kids, and I just didn't think I could do that if they knew what had happened to me. I love my job, and I wanted to keep it.
And yet here we are. What happened?
I changed my mind. I decided I couldn't stay quiet.
Let me see if I can pinpoint for you exactly when you changed your mind. Was that when your husband learned he was not the biological father of your son?
Your Honor.
This is not daytime TV, Ms. Orr. Please keep the theatrics to a minimum.
Mrs. Levitt, when your husband learned he was not the biological father of the child, what was his reaction?
He was upset.
Upset because you hadn't told him about your relationship with David Nelson?
No. Upset because I was raped.
Upset because I hadn't confided in him. Upset because he cares about me.
What do you suppose his reaction would have been if you told him you were sleeping with one of your students?
Your Honor, now she's asking the witness to speculate.
You've been to law school, haven't you, Ms. Orr? If you have a case to make it. Otherwise...
No more questions.
The baby was left at the emergency room. There's no sign of abuse, but she's being treated for a disease that's usually found in Central America.
She is a cutie.
Excuse me?
Look at her. Look at her little nose.
The baby has a nose, Robert. That's an excellent observation.
Oh, those cheeks. Man, you just want to pinch them.
Could we attempt to maintain an atmosphere of professionalism, at least until noon?
Sorry.
We need to find her mother.
How about INS? If she's being treated for a Central American disease, there's a chance she's illegal.
Robert, you have a connection at INS, do you not?
I'll go make the call.
And I thought perhaps we could try and get that picture on the evening news, since the baby has a certain aesthetic appeal.
You mean because she's a big cutie pie? Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Media loves this kind of thing. It's early. Might have a shot at the 6 o'clock newscast. You know, Maxine, you might fool Robert, but I know you're a big softie.
Let's find her mother, shall we?
I went to Mrs. Levitt for help after the midterm. That part's true. But it was in the classroom after the bell, and there were other kids around.
What did she say when you asked for help?
That time we talked about the test, how I could do better on the next one.
That time?
And she decided that I should start coming for tutoring every week.
And did you like spending that time with Mrs. Levitt?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about everything. She was interested in my life, in me.
Was she? Or is that just what you told yourself?
She started showing up at all my wrestling matches, even the away ones.
What happened after the Groton match?
It was a night match, and my parents couldn't make it. But Mrs. Levitt was there, and she offered me a ride home.
Can we get to a point, please?
Well, on the way home, she decided that she wasn't ready to drop me off just yet. So she drove me down to Dudley Pond, and we parked on the side of this dirt road. The radio was on. We were listening to the music and talking, and Mrs. Levitt, she leaned over and kissed me. I couldn't believe it, but I kissed her back. We kept kissing for a while, and that's when it all happened.
What all happened?
She asked me if I'd ever had sex before. I told her the truth, even though I was embarrassed. I said no. She asked me if I wanted to. And that's when we did it. We slept together. In her car, we had sex.
And did your relationship continue?
For a month, or maybe 6 weeks.
Always in her car?
Sometimes in motels, once in her office, but a bunch of times in her car.
No more questions?
Mr. Nelson. Do you recognize this?
Yeah.
Your principal found this in your locker? Is that true?
This is ridiculous, Your Honor. What possible relevance could
Just
this
want to
have?
read one brief excerpt, Your Honor, and then it will go right back in the brown paper bag.
Fine, just keep it PG-13.
My anatomy lesson. Dear Playpen, I think I'm the luckiest sophomore at Kennedy High School. Last Tuesday, after working out in the gym, I missed my bus home. I was looking for a payphone to call my mom when my biology teacher, I'll call her Miss X, 26 years old, long red hair, super hot, offered me a ride. She drove me down to a deserted lake. No sooner had we parked than...
Okay, Mr. Friedman, I think we're up to speed.
I never even read that.
Mr. Nelson, do you consider yourself violent?
No.
Isn't it true that you were suspended from the wrestling team last season?
It was only for a week.
And wasn't that because you broke the collarbone of one opponent and fractured the jaw of another?
It's a contact sport. That stuff happens.
It seems to happen to you quite often.
I didn't hurt Mrs. Levitt. I didn't do what she says I did.
How would you characterize your relationship with Mrs. Levitt?
We had plans. After I graduated, we were going to be together.
Was Mrs. Levitt in on those plans, or was this just going on in your head?
She was going to leave her husband. It was going to just be us. She loved me.
How do you know that? Did she tell you that she loved you?
I just knew. We had a connection. Even after she broke up with me, I could still tell that she cared about me. I mean, I saw the way she looked at me.
How did she look at you?
Like she could look right through me.
Did you ever ask Mrs. Levitt if she shared these feelings?
By that time, it was too late. I mean, after she broke up with me, she wouldn't even talk to me. She wouldn't answer my calls. I sent her letters. I sent her flowers. I left messages on her desk.
Why didn't you leave her alone?
Your Honor, may I suggest a recess?
We were in love. We were gonna be together.
How about it, Your Honor? 10-minute recess?
Yeah, fine. 10-minute recess.
All rise. You all right?
I was well within my rights to ask that kid those questions. Wasn't I?
It seemed like a good time for a recess, that's all.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm looking at that kid and I'm seeing my stalker.
I didn't say that.
I think I've reached my limit on disturbed young men, inside the court and out. What?
Nothing. It's not too late to recuse yourself. If you need a docket change.
Tell me you didn't just advise a judge to recuse herself.
I'm clarifying your options for you, Judge Gray. I'm well within my rights to do that.
You believe him, don't you? You think she seduced him.
It's not my job to say. Can I ask where you're going?
I need some air.
Well, your blood pressure's normal. Everything looks and sounds fine. You say nothing hurts.
I know. I wish I could reel off some symptoms, but I can't explain it. I just don't feel right.
And Jillian, remember when you were sure you had lupus?
This is different.
And is this more like when you were allergic to your deodorant and thought you had armpit cancer?
Dr. Riley, I'm aware that I've had an imagined illness or two.
And then there was the indentation in your lower leg that turned out to be new muscle tone from the exercise bike.
All I know is that I am tired when I wake up and I'm tired when I go to bed.
How old's your son now?
Almost 2. But he's sleeping through the night and it's not that kind of tired.
How do you know? You've never had a toddler before?
I just know.
Okay. How's your marriage?
Eric, don't let me miss Sean's street.
You still got about a mile.
Okay, so let's say Eric was babysitting and I had a big project that was due the next day. And suddenly, all the electricity went out. And I needed to call you at work.
Well, electricity doesn't have anything to do with the phone.
It's a massive technological breakdown caused by terrorists or aliens?
Okay, well, in that case, I think it would be fine if Lauren's homework wasn't done on time.
You're not helping.
I think you were doing better with Amanda Buddha got a cell phone for her birthday.
Oh,
What is it?
no. Something not good.
Can you change a tire, Eric?
How hard could it be? Where's your tire changing stuff?
Would that have come with the car, or did I have to buy that extra?
I don't know.
Wait. That's what cell phones are for.
What if we were stranded like this and you pulled out your cell phone and the battery was dead? Wouldn't it be good to have a backup cell phone?
Lauren, I'm thinking this is not the time.
How did you do that?
Huh. You must have one of those roadside service contracts.
But how did they know?
Well, looks like you're in a bit of trouble.
Nothing we can't handle.
That tire's quite a mess.
Yeah, that's why I called AAA.
I just happened to be driving by. In my tow truck?
We'd rather wait for the one we already called.
Lauren probably has homework waiting. Right, Lauren?
Do I know you?
I'm a friend of your mother's.
I'm surprised to see you. I didn't think I'd see you again.
Well, life was unpredictable, right? Just when you think one thing's gonna happen, the exact opposite does. I'll check back in a few minutes and make sure you're okay.
Well, we won't be here.
Then I'll see you around.
Who is he?
He's somebody I know from work.
What's he doing all the way out here?
I don't know, Lauren. He's working around here, I guess.
I bet he could have fixed our car.
Not necessarily.
Why didn't you let him help us?
Well, this is what I pay the auto club for.
But he was already
Hey, Lauren, I'm the grown-up. Wait in the car, okay?
I know you have to go to work. I just thought we really haven't had time to chat lately, and you might have a few minutes to catch up on things. Like how your grandson is doing in preschool. And...
How is Ned doing in preschool?
Fine.
Oh, good.
I guess you want details.
If you have any.
Well, he gets along well with other kids, and he likes finger painting. The only problem is that we can't seem to get him to stop eating crayons.
Well, I'm sure that's just a phase.
We've tried explaining it and bribing him and...
Jillian, all of my children ate crayons and they survived.
Maxine, there's something wrong with me.
What do you mean?
I went to the doctor and he didn't believe me. He thinks I'm a hypochondriac. And maybe I am. I mean, there probably isn't a disease that hasn't been through my search engine. I know that, but this is different.
What is different, Jillian?
I can't explain it. I'm tired all the time and I can't think, and I feel like I have a head cold, but I don't. I feel stupid, like I'm superimposed on the world, like I can't connect. I don't know. I just know that there is something wrong with me, and I'm so afraid that I'm gonna be dead before anybody believes me. And it's my own fault, because I thought I had armpit cancer.
I am sure you're not going to die. They can fix almost anything now. Did you tell Peter about this?
I don't want to tell him until I know what I have. But I don't know how to find out what I have.
Well, don't worry about that. Now, I know where we can find a doctor who will believe you. Excuse me, please. I work here.
I want to see our baby. I'm sorry if you just leave your name, address, and phone number.
Our lawyer is on his way down here.
What kind of place are you running? Someone will be in touch.
Sean.
Just keep walking. I'll fill you in. Apparently, we were a big hit on the evening news. We got so many calls about this baby, our voicemail system crashed.
What about her mother?
Nothing.
And, the circus in the hallway?
Well, that's where it gets interesting.
The helpful kind of interesting?
More like the icky kind of interesting. All these couples claim the baby's theirs, and they have the receipts to prove it.
They purchased the baby?
That's what they're saying.
That is our name and number. Is there someone our attorney could speak to directly?
No, we're just a little understaffed.
Granted, I'm having a better day than you are. And granted, I'm the one who wanted to be a doctor, and it's not like I heard residency is a cakewalk and all of a sudden I'm surprised. But so far today, I have changed 3 light bulbs, mopped 2 hallways, and filled out 50 insurance forms. Of course, I can't say that I haven't been able to do any doctoring because I did get to dig the maggots out of the groin region of the homeless man with gangrene. But as much as I enjoyed that, I still find myself asking the complex existential question. For this, I gave up 60 grand in a Sonic Blue SUV. Hold the elevator!
So is that like a dead body?
Yes, it's very much like a dead body.
And what are you, the official dead guy pusher?
It's actually a highly technical skill.
Is he supposed to be in here?
No. He's supposed to be at his high school reunion. He had a heart attack just to inconvenience you. Toodles.
Who was that guy?
It's a long story, but don't worry, I can handle it.
No, that tattoo on his wrist, I've seen those at Long Lane. The number tells how many years you've done.
How many years has he done?
5. That's a lot for Julie.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to make this a bigger deal than it is.
How big is it? Look, I'm responsible for Lauren a lot of the time. If there's something going on, I think I should know.
Well, he's bad news. I don't know how bad. But if you ever see him anywhere near Lauren or her school, let me know immediately, okay?
Okay. I gotta go meet Lauren.
The picture does resemble her.
You see? Now that's definitely the same baby.
That's our baby. Where is she?
All right, first of all, she is not your baby.
But we bought her before they bought her.
And second of all, she is not a dinette set that you order off the home shopping channel. They have to go.
Maxine?
Did it occur to you for a second that attempting to purchase a child for cash might be illegal?
No.
Not to mention morally repugnant and wrong?
We wanted a baby for so long. I couldn't get pregnant. We tried to find a lawyer to help us adopt. And then Paul saw this adoption service on the internet, and we figured...
You figured if it's on the internet, well, it must be legal. What can you tell us about the person you contacted?
Her name's...
No, we don't have to tell you anything.
Wrong again. The only choice you have here is to tell us what we need to know now, before I call the state prosecutor's office, or after I hang up.
Her name's Lydia Copeland.
And what do we know about her?
That's all we know. Except the address where we sent the money.
Well, that might be helpful. What do you think?
We didn't even know the existence of this witness until this afternoon, Your Honor. We didn't have a name. As soon as we got a name, we provided it to the prosecution, but we didn't have one until today.
We should know about it.
Oh, okay. Stop talking, both of you.
Here's what I got from that incredibly civil and constructive exchange. You want to call a new witness? Someone not on the list?
Your Honor,
Now stop talking. Nod your head for yes, shake your head for no. You have a new witness, and you don't think we should hear from that witness today? Okay. Ms. Orr, you first. Why the surprise witness? You may speak.
Your Honor, Mrs. Levitt has already testified that she never had an affair with a student. This witness is our smoking gun.
Mr. Friedman.
It's trial by ambush, Your Honor. We believe the defense knew about this witness and purposefully kept the name off the witness list to prevent us from discrediting him.
So you don't object to the witness as much as to the procedure? Let's hear the witness.
Jillian, I'm sorry to be late. Where's Kyle?
He said to wait, he'll be back.
Oh, is that all he said?
No, he told me all about the bad day that he was having while he drew about 3 quarts of blood.
Why is he having a bad day?
I wasn't listening.
All right, we're not going to react to anything but facts. So far, we know that Kyle is checking something in your blood, and he's having a bad day. And frankly, he's young and healthy, so we don't give a damn what kind of day he's having.
Hey, Maxine. Okay. It'll be a few days before we get the full report, but in the meanwhile, I wanted to rule out a couple of things.
What did you rule out?
Actually, I ended up ruling them in.
Are they bad?
Do you mind if Maxine hears this?
No, I want Maxine to hear it. What is it?
Well, first of all, you have anemia. That's why you've been so tired. I brought you this fascinating fact sheet on anemia, including some dietary suggestions. And you need to start taking these right away.
What are these?
Prenatal vitamins.
What?
You're probably anemic because you're pregnant.
But I don't get pregnant.
Apparently you do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Oh,
honey. Oh, honey.
Thank you.
We've got an unresponsive patient in VFib. Let's go.
Me?
You're a doctor, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Then let's go.
What are the chances she just stepped out for lunch?
We both knew she'd be gone.
I didn't.
I'm pretty sure she left as soon as she dropped the baby at the hospital.
We'll issue a warrant on your baby broke and maybe we'll get lucky.
You should add kidnapping to the charge. The warrant might get a little more attention.
Kidnapping?
How do you think she acquired the child in the first place? She either stole that little girl or paid her mother a couple of $100, which in my book amounts to the same thing.
We'll call you if we hear anything.
The hospital called today. They're ready to release the baby. Do you want me to pick her up? Maxine?
No, what I want is for you to stop the callous people of the world from preying on the poor and the ignorant. Can you do that?
I'll bring it up in the next staff meeting.
Clayton Leonard, 20 years old.
Where do you go to school, Mr. Leonard?
University of Connecticut.
Where did you go to high school?
Fillmore High.
Do you know Rosalie Levitt?
Yeah, she was my physics teacher junior year.
And was that the extent of the relationship?
No. We had an affair when I was a senior. I don't know if affair is the right word, though. Mostly we just had sex.
And how long did that go on?
Almost 3 months, and then she dumped me for someone else. I think he was a sophomore.
Liar.
Mr. Nelson.
But he's lying.
David.
She said not to tell anyone that we'd both get in trouble. I'm sorry.
Sir, you're going to have to sit down.
What did you do? Tell me. Tell me!
Your Honor, the defense is inclined to rest. I think we can all see where this story is going. I don't need to hear any more.
Mr. Friedman, are you prepared to cross-examine?
No. I'd like to request a recess, Your Honor. I'm going to want some time to prepare.
Ms. Orr?
By all means. I encourage the state to take as much time as it needs.
Thank you. Mr. Leonard, you may sit down.
Sorry. The door was open. I just wanted to give you this.
What is it?
I did a little detective work. I thought you should find out what Jason Lobdell's been up to since you sent him away.
How bad is it?
I think you should see for yourself.
Was this a dog before Jason got to it?
Yeah. I think you should get a restraining order.
I think you're right.
That's the last form. We expected you earlier.
I'm sorry, I know I couldn't get away till now.
Mother never showed up.
No, and she's not going to.
So what happens next? You'll find her a home, right? I saw the news. It looks like there are a lot of people who want her.
None of those people have a legal claim to that baby. I'm taking her to a foster home. We'll go from there.
That doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't. All right. Yes. Everything's going to be all right. Take a good look around. Yeah.
So, this guy, he's swinging his nephew around, you know, the way guys do. And he doesn't realize he's really close to this tree.
Here you go, honey.
What's that?
Just open it.
Okay, in a minute. So anyway, the guy accidentally swings the kid into the tree and breaks the kid's ankle. So he and his son, the kid's cousin, they put the kid in the car and they take him to the family doctor.
Aren't you gonna open it?
I will in a minute. So the doctor asks the guy what happened. So he picks up his son and he says to the doctor, "Doc, it was nothing. I was just swinging him around like this."
Why don't you open it now?
Don't interrupt, Lauren.
But I want to know what the present is.
I said I will in a minute.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Peter, everyone knows that story. Open your present.
What am I getting a present for?
Just open it.
What is it?
Are you sure?
Oh my God.
What?
Like a morning dove, walking down the road with the one you love. Maybe launch from a slingshot.
What?
Oh my God.
Then just let go.
Congratulations. You say congratulations? What is it? What's going on?
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, the drama erupts when a child is charged with obstruction of justice.
ভাই কি দেখেন?
বাইকটা কি আপনার?
হ্যাঁ আমার ভাই কি হইছে?
নাম্বার প্লেট কই?
সেটা দিয়ে আপনার কি দরকার?
রাইট দেন।
হ্যাঁ রাইট দিই, কি হইছে?
বেরিবাদ যাবেন?
না ভাই এই মুহূর্তে বেরিবাদ যাবো না ভাই।
ভাই চলেন না, আমার মায় অসুস্থ।
ভাই আমার রাইড শেষ, আমার পোলার আছে জন্মদিন, আমার তাড়াতাড়ি বাড়ি যাইতে হবে, আমি যাইতে পারবো না। তো আপনি আর একটা রাইড দেখেন, এ নিয়ে যাবো আপনারে।
ভাই বিপদ তার বইলে আসেন, আমার মায় অসুস্থ। ভাই আপনার মা অসুস্থ থাকলে কি একজন হেল্প করতো না?
এই মুহূর্তে ভাই এই বেরিবাদে আমার বাড়িটা থাকলো উল্টা দিকে, আমার যাইতে অনেক দেরি হয়ে যাবে।
ভাই একটু স্যাক্রিফাইস করেন না ভাই, আমার মা অসুস্থ, আপনার মা অসুস্থ থাকলে কি আপনি করতেন না? আরে একটু বাড়াই দেবো ভাই, চলেন ভাই।
আরে এই সময় বেরিবাদ কেমনে যাবো
ভাই? আয়ান না, আমি তো আপনার সাথে যাইতেছি ভাই, আমার একটু নামাই দিয়ে আসেন, খুব দরকার ভাই। চলেন ভাই।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে চলেন। ভাই কোন দিকে? ভাই আর কোন দিকে যাবো কোন তো? সেই কখন থেকে তো সামনে সামনে করতেছে।
মা, শফিকরে ডাক দাও।
আমার অনেক রাত হয়েছে।
তাহলে একটা কাজ করো, ওর জন্য একটা কেকের পিস রেখে দাও।
আচ্ছা রেখা দিব না, কাল সকালে তুই দিয়ে আসিস।
মা, মোমবাতি কই?
মোমবাতি আনতে তো ভুলে গেছি একদম।
তাহলে কাজ করো, বাবাকে আনতে কইয়া দাও।
তোর বাপ কি জানে যে কেক কিনে নিয়ে আসছি? আচ্ছা আগে আসুক, তারপরে দোকানে পাঠাবো না মামা।
তাহলে একটা কাজ করি, আমি নিজে গিয়ে নিয়ে আসি।
ছোট মানুষের রাতেবেলা বাইরে যাওয়া নিষেধ তোরে শিখাইছি না?
তাহলে আবার একটা কাজ করো, বাবাকে ফোন দিয়ে কইয়া দাও বেলুন আনতে, আর বলবা যে তাড়াতাড়ি আসতে।
আর একটু অপেক্ষা করি, হ্যাঁ তারপর কমুনি।
Nó cứ bán gì nó handle cái thị trường của cô ấy cay thật, nó thích bán sự là khó đấy, nó có nhiều mà nó handle được ngay, nó handle vậy. Anh ước gì anh có nhiều chúng nó anh handle thị trường chứng khoán bình. Có bọn có nhiều cái đấy, có nhiều cổ phiếu ngày xưa ấy, chúng nó handle được thị trường tiền của nước đấy mà. Đó, chúa bán với cả mua cổ phiếu xong rồi làm kiểu thị trường bị nói chung biến động này. Anh kinh rồi anh kinh đi xin nhớ đây. Anh không làm gì cả. Quỷ quỷ mua đó. Anh em có sell sàn Pi không? Pi network. Ngoài sự mà ác quỷ ấy. Sao? Đó nhưng mà cái Pi đây chúng nó lừa mấy ông bà già ác thật, lừa mấy ông bà già kinh thật. Lừa sự lừa mấy ông bà già. Em bảo sai con cương, anh nhặt con cương ở đây. Cần tiền để lên chết đấy. Ui thua trắng à? Phải qua zip tất cả, xét quán ra zip xét không? Nó run ra à? Được quá. Trái đất mới à? Trái đất mới à? Vay bao nhiêu rồi? Anh vay được lại là 4 láp ạ, nếu hiểu. Anh mới qua 6 tuổi này. Trời ơi. Anh bán vài pet rồi. Léo pet là hơn 1 triệu. À có một con pet hơn 1 triệu rồi, anh phải quay mới ra. Anh phải quay đây, pet mythic của thầy. Mythic lấy pet mythic ở đây không? Đó, Yên thấy anh của chúng ta. Không được đâu thầy ơi. Núp. Rồi quyết định. Có dễ mà. Dễ. Gây nhanh mà. Phương một. Chết chả. Ôi trời ơi. Mình ở nhiều đồ nhỉ. Mua đây phương một rồi. Chết rồi, 8 máu đéo ra cái đéo gì chơi này giờ mới ra siết đây à. 8 máu mới ra siết vui thôi 8 máu mới ra siết xin ra 2 thôi đi 4 mày đi anh hiểu ý không? Anh hiểu ý mà. Mày đi. À, em Dương cày gầy mà. Dương gầy mà. Dương này học tấn bảo mày béo. Nó bảo nó béo là mình thích bảo nó béo không? Đồ ấy mà. Không kìa. Không em ơi, muốn rồi em Dương à? Dương là gì ấy? Có em gì ấy Dương? Banh đâu? Em hỏi gì cơ? Chốt nào? Được. Để Để làm cho em phát mình đấy. Ngủ hết cả. Chương mở đầu. Cái thằng Vững này thích đi xem lịch sử của Hàn Quốc không? Thằng con lợn này. Thằng Vững xem lịch sử Hàn Quốc anh em ơi. Thằng Vững xem lịch sử Hàn Quốc ấy. Con lợn này. Nó đi xem bảo nó xem nơi xem bảo tàng mấy cái văn chương lịch sử của Hàn Quốc ấy, ở trong đóng trong khung ấy, chôn bố à? Mấy chôn bố con lợn này. Chưa mắc à? Bố anh cần quay con đen đen gì đấy, cần quay cái con background đen gì à? Được đấy. Xóa rồi. Ô tất chạy sang chân tâm lý. Ô anh rể không, người Hàn Minh Chí Linh phải biết. Thấy đi chơi Vinh đợt đi à do Mr. Beat à? Mr. Beat à? Vì ai mà dương chiến. Rồi hết chết tiền để tiền chết tiền rồi vẫn mở được chứ mà. À, em vừa lên được 9 lap rồi đây, 10 lap. 15. Nên quay cùng cho em tháng này mail cũng anh cần nhiều. Rồi hết rồi. Tiếng gì nhỉ? Tôi nghe tiếng gọi Ê, cái gì? À tiếng gọi. Sai vàng. Ta đợi anh em à? Thằng Dương nó đứng đây để ba anh em. Thằng Dương nó đứng đây. Chứ tao chưa lấy mic game bình thường ngày nào để đấy tao chỉ cho tiếng nghe này. Ừ. 300 mũ rồi, cần 400 mũ quay 2 lần. Bây giờ tí tắm bao giờ mới 3 giờ mà bao giờ chúng mày tắm sớm vậy?
Sao? Mày đi đâu? Bố mày tắm, bố mày kêu con nào chứ?
Chết rồi. Không rồi, thầy ơi Minh chứ. Thế à, thế ở đây. Đúng à? Vâng, không. Nó còn ngủ. Rồi như đéo ở đây. Đéo biết là cái gì. Còn đi học tướng à? Rồi xong, rồi cho tướng. Rồi. 400 mà 400 về vua kia mở quả trứng ấy, mở quả trứng mừng mũ ấy. Bình chia lên giết.
Đi đâu?
Anh nhớ mà, anh nhớ chỉ số xe màn hình của máy anh vào lần trước anh tự chỉnh lại. Của anh là 1213682 rồi. Epic, mày đi, Epic vào đây rồi. Vẫn thấy đây sử dụng mà. Legend đây sử dụng khó. Đây có 1000 thôi phút. Thằng kéo đây. Ui, hack về chi lộ rồi, thôi. Làm sao ta?